There's more to this. You may want to watch the other video. If it's greater than 1, it diverges. If it equals 1, it's inconclusive. So greater than 1, it diverges. That would be 2. And 3, if it equals 1, it's inconclusive. Let's do 1. Example 1. And we have time tomorrow. The Khan Academy for this section is not due tomorrow. So we can do some more of these problems tomorrow, but I'm introducing it in case you want to look at some. This is the sum of n equals 1 to infinity, 2 to the n over n factorial. So I'm going to write limit. I'm going to let y'all catch up. Limit as n goes to infinity. And I'm going to make a fraction. My fraction is the 2 to the n plus 1 term over n plus 1 factorial.
And those are absolute value bars, right?
It's going to be an absolute value, yes. Okay. Over the one that's given, 2 to the n over n factorial. So the next one has to be smaller than the one before it. Fractions over fractions. This turns out to all be positive. When I start plugging numbers in, there's no way for this function to be negative, so I'm going to drop it for the next step. And for time's sake, I'm going to drop limit just so I can do the algebra before class is over. When we keep, change, flip, it looks like this. You with me? I didn't do anything but keep, change, flip. Okay. Under n plus 1 factorial, that means n plus 1 times n factorial. And I could continue it on. It would be like n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3. That's what factorial means. It means the first one times the one smaller than it. And I'm going to stop here because what do I have it on top? It cancels. Yeah? So right now I have the limit as n goes to infinity. I have n plus 1 so far in my next step. I'm not done yet. I'm just doing one step at a time. N plus 1 factorial.
I'm still confused how you canceled out the
n plus 1 factorial equals n plus 1 times n minus 1 times, keep going, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4. This part is n factorial.
Okay.
So factorial you can start writing, and at some point you end up with a factorial that matches another factorial, and they cancel. So this canceled, I'm left with n plus 1. 2, you see the same base? So if I subtract, if I keep the base 2 and I say n plus 1 minus the 1 on the bottom, what do I have? 2 to the 1 power. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. Now I have 2 over n plus 1. What does that limit do? It goes to, n gets to infinity, so the bottom grows bigger, so this goes to 0? 0. This one converges. 0 is less than 1. The factorial part is going to confuse you a little bit. I have 4 problems worked out that I'm going to post to go with your Khan Academy. You can use that to help you with your Khan Academy or to see how I worked out my problems, or we can work some in class tomorrow. Okay, sorry that went quickly.